Okay, family, welcome to employee training, how to be more productive in your everyday life. All right, I am grateful to have you guys here with me today. And with these few slides, I'm just going to slide through it rather quickly. Um, it will be where you can understand and grasp the point because I need to get to the part where we're talking about how we're going to be more productive. All right, so let's get started. Mindset. All right, mindset is your driving force. It's the mental, right? So we're going to go with what are your goals in life? Your life goals should be your motivator at your job. Then I ask you, what are your goals at your job? Your job goals should support and or assist you in achieving your life goals. Your job or career should also complement your personal life as both makes up your life as a whole. Hold on for a second. I'm hearing this echo and it is driving me absolutely bananas. If I can fix this. Okay. Okay. So next, perspective. Perspective is our support beam, is how we view a situation, circumstances. It's our support beam. So if you've ever been into a warehouse, when they build racks, they have the support beam, right? Our perspective is our support beam to our mindset, okay? Your perspective protects your focus. Your perspective provides patience. Your perspective provides understanding. Your perspective provides rationale, like logic. Oh, okay, I see why he did that, or I see why he said that, right? Also helps you to be rational, helps to be reasonable in some matters or in a matter, right? Attitude. Our attitude reflects our peace or lack of. So when you think about attitude and we are at peace, we most likely to be calm and cool, relax, lay back and chill, right? Now, the emotions and actions connected to our positive attitude is happy, excited, glad, friendly, engaging, helpful, thankful, and grateful. Just to name a few. Emotions, our attitude connected to our attitude. Um, Negative attitude, I'm sorry. Um, Frustrated, irritated, upset, angry, where we then begin to complain. We find ourselves complaining about things with the job, um, whether it's small or um, big. We start to complain. And when we start to complain, then we slide back. We find ourselves coming off being ungrateful, not being thankful, not willing to be helpful, less engaging, unfriendly, no longer glad or excited, and oftentimes it causes us to become unhappy. Now, perspective, we become less reasonable. We no longer see the logic in the matter. We become less understanding. we become less patient, we lose focus. In other words, our support beam to our mindset has now been damaged. Because it's been damaged, it's safe to say it has been compromised. So now, what used to hold us, help keep this together, because it's been um, uh, impacted negatively. So our mindset begins to collapse. Our mindset is no longer keeping us focused, no longer keeping us patient, no longer um, going after that thing that we sign up to go after. Like we begin to break down, all because we begin to complain. We lose our perspective, our mindset. And now what happens is we find ourselves getting burnt out at our jobs. We become toxic in the workplace, toxic to those around us, the environment, because we're complaining. We letting off negative energy, like we saying negative stuff, right? And then when we began to get addressed for the attitude or the language, like called into the office, sit down, stuff like that, we feel like we're beginning to get picked on. Well, when we let off negativity, oftentimes it come back to us in different forms, different ways, but we are attracting problems. We are attracting issues. And because we begin to complain a lot, talk crazy, have attitudes, let off this negative energy, not willing to be helpful, not willing to be friendly and engaging, and like we once was when we first started working here. And then when opportunities come that we may be interested in, now we're wondering why we're being looked over. Perhaps it's due to our attitude. And the result, because we don't get that position, promotion, or raise, we start to feel unappreciated and undervalued, right? Certainly, I know I'm not the only one that, have felt this way. But how do we fix it? How do we change this? Introducing to you something that God, like something really special that God has given me to share, is the 4A method for self improvement. So when we think about the issues that we now have at work, when we think about why it seems like we're a target, when we think about why didn't I get that promotion, why didn't I get that raise, why? Oftentimes we look externally and we base the reason off whatever makes sense to us, the reason why we didn't get it. And then we begin to blame other people. It's somebody else's fault. It's because of this, it's because of that. And guess what? It's adding on to our perspective and, shall I say, the negative perspective attitude. Now we're complaining more. Now we're talking about people. Now, like, it becomes this big thing, and it's because we never stop to look within. And that's what the 4A method is. The first one is assess, self assess. Is it something that I'm doing wrong? Is it something that I did? Is it something that I can do moving forward? How can I improve? How can I add more value? How can I do better? How can I be the example? It's the how within, self-assessing. All right. And then the second thing is once we've self-assessed of how or what, we adjust, make the necessary adjustments based on our assessment, based on the self-assessment that we did, looking within. How can I make the necessary adjustments? What are the adjustments I can make? Okay, if it's stop complaining so much, it's simple. Stop complaining so much. Let's work on the mindset and the perspective. Let's get that attitude back right. Right? Whatever assessment that we came up with, let's make those adjustments. That's how we will begin to create that shift and create that change. Right? The third thing, accept. Accept the responsibilities. What are the responsibilities? We have a responsibility to make sure that we show up to work doing what we're supposed to do, whatever that to do is. It's our responsibility that we come to work and we are doing what we signed up to do. It is our responsibility to make sure that we're not up in there adding to the toxicity. It is our responsibility to make sure when we show up to work, we are focused and locked in doing what we're supposed to do. Whatever the adjustment that we made, is our responsibility to make sure that we show up every single day implementing whatever that adjustment is that's going to create the shift and create that change. That's an internal thing. It's not someone else's responsibility. It's ours. We make the adjustment. We accept the responsibility. We take action. It's our responsibility to make sure that we take action every single day when it comes down to when we show up to work. It's our responsibility. It ain't nobody else's. We can blame everybody all day long. Take action. It's our responsibility to make sure we take action. It's nobody else's fault. It's nobody else's responsibility. It's ours. We take action. And with this 4A method, this is how we begin to create the shift and create the change. And the cool thing about this 4A method is this is a easy way for yes to improve, but become mature. To look at self like what areas can I do better? To grow. What can I start doing more of? Like to develop. This is the opportunity for us to learn. So in other words, we're becoming more of who we were created to be when we follow the 4A method. It's designed for us to improve, not look at somebody else and be like, it's because. Not to look at someone else and be like, it's your fault. None of that. All right. Now let's talk about goals, right? Because when it comes down to the 4A method, when we don't have goals in mind, when we're not trying to achieve anything, it makes it harder for us to do the 4A method. Because we just hear like we're comfortable, like we complain all day long, but we not trying to leave. It's all of these issues, but we're not again looking within. But now if we have goals, these things that we're trying to achieve and do in life, it makes this the 4A method much more easier to implement because now we have something to revert back to. when we first came to this job, what was our goal? What was the goal? So now we remember what the goal is. Let me shift my mindset. Let me shift my focus back on my goal. And because now I'm focusing more on my goal like I once did, my perspective of the job, the foolishness, all the stuff that's going on around, it's like, you know what, it is what it is. Like I just have to deal with it a little while longer. If we know this job is going to help us achieve whatever the goal is, whatever our goal is, we have a perspective of, you know what, it's cool. It's it's growing me. It's helping me. It's preparing me. Right? We have something to revert back to, and we have something to stand on, and we are going shooting for something. So now, because our mindset is back, right? Because we done shifted our focus, our perspective is different. Now our attitude has changed. We refuse to let the things that used to bother us to penetrate within to where now we 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 acting a fool at work now, right? So we have to have goals in life. So let's talk about some goals, right? Our jobs, our companies that we work for, they have goals. Okay, they have a plan in place how they're going to achieve that goal. Well, in order for them to achieve that goal, they must have an operation in place, like processes and systems and like things that's going to begin to move in the direction of achieving that goal, right? Progression, keeping it moving, right? And then they have a team to oversee the operation. Make sure everything is on task, make sure everything is going in the right direction, make sure there's progression, making sure, right? Then they have you and I to implement each task assigned to us that ultimately help our company achieve their goal. That's what it is. But let me share something with you in case you was unaware of the success of the company. Us as employees, we play a major role in their success, right? Whether it's me, whether it's you, whatever, like we play a key role in our company's success. Without us, like it's just a business. In fact, it's not making any money. It's not doing what it was designed to do. It's really not a business, right? So what I'm saying is if we play a key factor in helping our company become a success, we have what it takes. We're coming together. They hired a group of individuals. We're coming together and making our company successful, making the business owner successful. We are playing a role in that, right? So I have a question for you. So obviously we have what it takes. Why aren't we signing up, showing up every single day to in our lives, in our personal life? Like we are showing up every single day to our job, to our boss's company, however you look at it. Why aren't we showing up for ourselves every single day? If we start showing up for ourselves every single day, we will show up to work differently most days. Because there's good days, there's bad days, there's so days, there's I'm not really feeling it, but I have a goal in mind, and this company is going to help me achieve that goal, whether we are there long term or short term. Because we have a goal in place, we're still going to show up, kicking and screaming on days, but we're going to show up. So we have to talk about being productive in our everyday life, in our personal life, not just showing up to work. Now let's talk about goals. What are your goals? You have goals? You have goals for your personal life, like you have goals career wise. If you don't have goals, that's part of the problem why we're not making progress in life. That's part of the problem why we're not productive every day in our lives because we don't have any goals. Our company have goals. You know what I mean? Like so every single day they open them doors, whatever their goals are, guess what? They have us getting to it to make sure they reach their goals. You have to have goals. All right. Then we have to have a plan how we're going to achieve those goals. Guess what? Our company, the business that we work for, they they know exactly what the plan is. They know what the blueprint that need to be implemented every single day that's going to help them reach their goals quarterly, every 6 months, annually. Like they know what their plan is, which means when we figure out what our goals are, each goal we have to have a plan in place. They open the doors every single day. That plan there that's being implemented is going to help them achieve their goals. Guess what? We have to have a plan that that's going to help us get closer and closer and closer to achieving our goals every single day. Like our company is successful. We're contributing in their success. So if this is if this the outline of their success, having the goals, a plan in place to achieve the goals, well, guess what? Maybe we need to get some goals. Maybe we need to set some goals. Maybe we should um, uh, construct a plan that's going to help us achieve our goals. Right? I'm just saying, like it makes sense to me. Then they have operations in place. Again, like processes and systems. Like when we go to work every single day, each one of us know what our task is. We know what our responsibilities are. We know where our department is. We know what time we need to be at work. We know what our deadlines are. We know. Guess what? We are a part of the process. We are in their system. They created all of this. They just needed manpower to be put in place to implement the task. So with us, what is our operation in our personal lives? What is our process and procedures? Routine, our job, they have routine. The process, the system, like they have a routine. When we come to work, we know what we supposed to be doing. They have a routine in place. Yes, we have our own routine. We might go in, check emails first, and then focus on this, focus on that. Like that's the systems in place. So then we create a routine that works best for us, but it's ultimately a routine that we are implementing on our jobs, in our companies, that's creating their success. Why don't we have a routine, a success routine for our personal lives? That basically is a system that we are creating in our personal lives to where just like we show up to the job every single day. We showing up for our personal life every single day, implementing whatever that plan is because it's a part of the system, i.e., routine, to where as long as we committed to it and we showing up every single day consistently, we're getting one step closer to achieving that goal. Just like the company we work for. This is how we begin to start to be productive in everyday life, and it starts with having a goal, a plan to action, implementing, showing up every single day, working towards achieving that goal, having a routine that include in the activities, the practices, and the habits that's required that's going to guarantee that we achieve our goal. The team to oversee the operation. Guess what? Right now, we are the team. If we know what our goals are, we know what we're supposed to be doing, we need to be holding ourselves accountable to making sure we are doing what we're supposed to do every single day. And that don't look like kicking our feet up every single day, especially if you have goals, especially if you have aspirations, especially if you know there's a better life that's waiting for you, a brighter future that's waiting for you. We ain't got no business sitting up, kicking our feet up every chance we get because those goals, that's all they remain. That plan, what good's a plan if it's not going to be implemented, right? So we need to make sure that we are holding ourselves accountable. We need to make sure we're making sacrifices and discipline ourselves to where we are staying the course. Guess what? Our jobs, like you're not doing your job, there's disciplinary actions. There's we're gonna face consequences. We're gonna be held to the fire. Why aren't we doing this for ourselves? And because we know those things, we get in line, we do what we're supposed to do. Why don't we do that for ourselves? These are the things that's required. Like this is how their company is staying successful. We are a major key in their success. So those actions, those implementations, those what we showing up, the routine, everything, okay, if that system is working for them, why don't we have a system for our lives, our personal lives, that's going to help us ultimately change the future of our families? That's going to create a better and a new for our lives. Like it's going to take time. It's not going to be overnight, but that's why I said like we have to show up every single day, even if it's going to take 3 years. I've been at this for over 5 years now. Much haven't changed, but it's what I've been called to do. It's what I've been purposed to do. I have to show up every single day. When that change comes, then it will come. But I still have to show up. You still have to show up for your life, in your life, every day. Some days you might not feel like it. Sometimes, some days I don't feel like it. And I drag my leg, but I still show up. I still do it. At least I try to. We big on excuses. Because I don't feel like doing it, that's a reason. Because I ain't in the mood, that's a reason. Because it's not convenient, that's a reason. No, those are excuses to remain where we are. And guess what's going to happen? We're going to remain where we are. So we need to know what tasks and assignments that we must do in our personal lives that's going to help us achieve our goals. Just like our company does for their business. We need to do the same thing for our personal lives. And once we know what that is, and once we know what that looks like, guess what we can do? We can start taking action. We can start becoming, we can start doing more. We can start becoming more productive in our everyday lives because we're working towards something. But because we ain't working towards nothing, for 20 plus years, I lived for the weekend. I was working towards the weekend. So I go out and do things I ain't have no business doing anyway. That shaped my future. That shaped my life. And then in my 30s, when I had a family, then that's when I was exposed for 20 plus years of not doing nothing with my life. And now I'm trying to figure it out now. I don't have that time that I used to have. My time is broken up, divided up. But guess what? I still have a responsibility, as you do. If you don't have a family, please take this time to do what you have to do, especially if you plan on having a family. Don't bring them in your mess. Let's know what we're trying to do, have, and accomplish in life. Let's get serious about learning why we were created and get on that path and go at it. Because guess what? The job that we're at, we'll be able to strategically choose the job. And even if it's just, well, I just got to work here for now, we know what that ideal look like. We know what the ideal job look like. Now we're talking fulfillment. It has something to do with our gifting. It has something to do with our calling. It has something to do with our purpose. It has something to do with why we were created. Now we're talking on a whole nother level when it comes down to showing up for the workplace and showing up in the workplace. That mindset is different from all that other stuff. It's deeper now. That perspective is almost unbreakable. Again, there are going to be days, but that bounce back, that shift that's needed to get back right with this, guess what? It's the support beam. It's going to hold us down every time. Even if we slip a bit, we can bounce back just like that. Because now we talking mission. Now we talking calling. Now we talking purpose. Now we talking about utilizing our gifting, doing what we absolutely love to do. So when we show up every single day to that job that we enjoy doing, because now we're operating in our gifting, we'll do it for free. But obviously we're going to get paid for it, but we'll do it for free. We talking something much deeper than just showing up for a check. We talking about something much deeper. This is how we begin to be more productive in everyday life. And it starts with goals and aspirations. It starts with dreams and visions and ideas and working towards manifesting them things. And it's helping us understand why we are here at this job and what we need to do. What sacrifice? Hey, it's just a sacrifice because there's things I'm doing now in my job that I'm not too proud. You know what I mean? I can live with that. But I try everything in my wheelhouse to not let that affect me and how I show up. It has at times, showing up reluctantly, like not really feeling it, like feeling down and just upset and sad at the same time. But it don't last always. A little later, I get that shift back because I understand God placed me here for a reason. He placed me here for a purpose. He placed me here to create a change. So now again, we talking about something different. So it's now I'm it's easier for me to be more productive in my everyday life. Hopefully, whatever the things that he had me doing, it will begin to change my life in ways that I've been truly desiring and needing. But in a process, I have to be patient and making sure that I'm showing up every single day. because ultimately I represent him. He placed me here because he created me, and I'm on a mission. And that's what I try to stay focused on. When the moment I lose focus on that, that's when I slip. That's when the support beam become compromised. And then that's when this began to break down. And now my emotions are all up in the mix. Now I'm seriously like on the verge of breaking down. And it hurts. So I feel your pain. But as we just discussed, this is how it will help you to become more productive in your everyday life. Let's start with goals. Let's start with dreams. Let's start with the aspirations. Let's start with purpose. Let's start with what fulfills us. Fulfills us. What makes us feel good when we help others do. Like tapping into like how can I help others who struggle in the same areas that I'm struggling in? That's when we start get to tapping into what we've been called to do, what we've been purposed to do, utilizing the gifts that he gifted us with to reach others who are in need of it. This is how we do it. But we need this. We need a routine. This is how we, excuse me, this is how we become productive in our everyday lives and stay on a course to achieving our goals by having a routine. We go to work, we have managers, we have supervisors to make sure, remember, they're in place to oversee the operation, to make sure that us employees are doing what we're supposed to do. Our managers keep us in check, so to speak. Guess what? Our routine is our manager. Our routine, we need to create a routine, schedule that routine, and commit and submit to that routine. And let our routine tell us, no, you can't do that because you have this to do. Because you have this to do, you trying to achieve goals, and this is going to help you to do that. So no, you can't go there. No, you need to get up and at this time because we're trying to get on this health journey. So I need to wake up 30 minutes earlier than what I normally do to get that 30-minute walk in. We're gonna start there. And when we schedule our routine, including in the the goals and or the activities that's required of us, that's going to help us achieve our goals. Like we wonder why we are so unmotivated every morning we get up and go to work. Well, for one, we waking up later than what we supposed to. We hitting that snooze button, getting up at the last minute. We already start our day stressed because we're running late. We're running behind. We already know the traffic we're going to hit. Like, so before we get to the job, we already pissed and in a stank mood. Anybody can get it that day. It's not their fault. Again, self-assess. Whose fault is it? But it's because we're not setting ourselves up to win in our everyday lives. We're not setting ourselves up for success in our everyday lives. How do I know? Do you make your lunch in the morning and at night? A lot of times we make our lunch the night before. I'm sorry, we make our lunch the day of. Okay? If we know that we're gonna have to make our lunch anyway, it could take 10 or 15 minutes out of our morning So that's something else we got to do in the morning, or we leave work without making a lunch because we're running late. So now we got to pay for fast food because we're hungry at lunch. But what about instead of sitting up watching Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football, or instead of sitting up scrolling before we go to bed, let's take those 10, 15 minutes to make our lunch the night before. So guess what? We have 10 to 15, maybe 20 additional minutes that we have in the morning time because we no longer making our lunch in the morning time. So not only we get up 30 minutes earlier, we actually can get up 45, 50 to an hour earlier because we made our lunch the night before. Whatever we had to do, whatever we have to do in the morning, if we can do it the night before, whether it's getting gas. Why are we waiting in the morning to get gas? I mean, that's another 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like all these things that we can do tonight, it's called the success and conquer routine that I'm trying to share with you, right? It's how to succeed in life by conquering our everyday. So when I'm speaking of the success and conquer routine, the the key to creating and having a successful routine is preparation. So prepare the night before to succeed and conquer your tomorrow. So what can you do the night before? That's going to help you. That's going to help you start your day off successful, or at least position you to start your day off successful. Do it the night before. So if you think about that hour that you lose in the morning time preparing whatever it is you have to do, stopping wherever you have to stop. If you do it the day before, guess what? That's an hour earlier. You can wake up and do whatever that activity is that's going to help you achieve that goal. You have that time in the morning. We quickly say, well, I ain't got time. I don't have that extra time. Yes, you do. What are you doing with your time? You wake up in the morning, sit down and watch TV for like 30 minutes on some random stuff, or wake up looking at your phone for a good 30 minutes before you get up and get out of bed. That's time. That's a time window where you can actually be doing something productive that has to do with in about 6 months, I didn't achieve my goal. In about 3 months, I didn't achieve my goal because I was working at it every single day. We not doing the night before what we have to do the next day so we can sleep in an hour later, so we can bull job uh, extra 30 minutes later. No, we doing that so we can get up in the morning and get about that goal. We're so unmotivated when we make it to work. Tell me this. After you done achieved the goal, how did that make you feel about yourself? How did it make you feel? Excuse me. Hold on. I need the full screen. How did it make you feel about yourself when you achieved your goal? How did it make you feel? I'm sure it made you feel good about yourself that you was actually able to do it because you probably didn't think you could. You probably didn't think you had what it take. But you proved to yourself that you can do it. It made you feel good about yourself. In fact, it probably motivated you even more. So if we know when we accomplish things, why aren't we setting more goals for our lives, for ourselves, to get that motivation because we see that we're making progress, because we see that we're changing. We're starting to do things differently. If we know that motivates us and we make us want to do more, why aren't we positioning ourselves to do this? And also, if we know that we start our days off unmotivated, and we know when we achieve things, it makes us feel good about ourselves, confidence, self-esteem. It helps us believe that we can now, and we're doing more now because we're starting to see evidence that I have what it takes. And it gets us pumped up and ready to run through a brick wall because now we're super motivated. Why aren't we setting ourselves up in the morning to become motivated for the day by having goals and set in the morning instead of waiting till the last minute? Why aren't we getting up a little earlier to where now we can do whatever that practice is, whatever that activity is that's in alignment with us achieving our goals? Why aren't we doing this? If we do this before we get our day started, before we leave for work, man, you can't tell me nothing. I'm ready. And because we're feeling a sense of high because of what our daily goals are that's going to lead us to our short-term goal or our long-term goal, because we're feeling really good about ourselves. It's it would take much more for you to get me off my game. It would take much more for me to allow you under my skin, pushing certain buttons. Like, because I got this positive vibe going on for myself right now. Like I'm I'm on track of becoming better. I'm on track of achieving my goals. I'm on track to changing my family's life. I'm on track to creating a brighter future for my life, for my family life. I ain't got time for your foolishness. Again, perspective, support being to this, our mindset. I got this positive attitude. Like I'm doing, I'm 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 starting to succeed in my life by conquering my everyday. If we don't start conquering our everyday with what we can control, we would never begin to succeed in life because we're being reactive opposed to proactive. So we need to set some goals in the morning. Like, what are some things that we want to do and accomplish? What are those daily things that we have to do? That plan, like I said, the job, they have a plan in place that's going to help them achieve their goal. And we are included in that plan. So what is that plan that we have to have for that's going to help us achieve our goal? It includes our participation. It includes our energy. Includes our focus. It includes our commitment. It includes our dedication. It includes our consistency. It includes our discipline. It includes sacrifices from us. No one's going to give it to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have to show up for ourselves, just like we show up for our job, for our bosses, our managers. We need to be showing up for our life every single day. And at some point, by being productive, because we're doing more don't mean that we're being productive. We're just doing more. But if we are like our target is there, And every single day we're working towards that, we're becoming more productive in our everyday life, and whatever that change we're looking to make, whatever that shift we looking to do, whatever that mission or purpose that God created us to fulfill, like we are on track to achieving that. Whatever lifestyle you're trying to have for yourself, like whatever you're trying to become, whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to have, whatever path you're on to that brighter future, we have to be productive and working at it every single day. And no, it's not going to be easy. And no, it's not always going to be convenient. Yes, it requires learning a little bit more. Yes, it requires doing research. I hate doing, I don't like it, but I have to do it. We have to start showing up and start waiting the last minute. I'm doing this Zoom thing now. Like I was supposed to learn how to do the Zoom situation 2 years ago. But because I kept putting it out because I don't know how to do it, I'm kind of, you know what I mean? Like bump that if you know, I've told I've told people like my cousin, like I'm gonna have to learn this. I told him this 2 years ago because what God is going to start doing, what I'm going to have to start doing related to what He has created me to do, what He has missioned me for. Now I just started learning how to do this 2 weeks ago, and I am super rough at it. Like I don't know, like if like I had to reach out. I said my tech team, like I had to reach out to my mom see if she come on here and let me know if she can hear me. Then I had to go in there and holler at my wife, see if she can get on a Zoom so I can know if she there's things I still don't know, although I done looked it up. But had I learned this long time ago when God gave me the play to run this, it wouldn't have took me additional 3 or 4 weeks before I can actually put it into place because I would already knew it. But because I ain't know it, guess what? Now I'm prolonging the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, so get on your job and stay on your job. You know, like you need to know what it is that you're trying to accomplish in life and what you're trying to do. Set that goal. Put a plan in place. Put a plan in place and know what that action is every single day and implement that every single day. You showing up for your job every single day, that's your job. Show up for your everyday life every day. And that's how you start to becoming more productive in your everyday life. Okay. All right. You follow me? So, um, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to follow. So what I'm going to do is um, I'm going to I'm going to do the replay on here, right? And the the replay is going to ask for your email address. Okay. With your email address, what we talked about, the goals, the routine, I I created a PDF file that is 5 steps how to build your future life on paper because we have it in here, but it never make it to the next step, which is on paper. That's the next step to manifesting the dream, the vision, the ideas, the future life. Is getting it out of here. So it's a 5 step process. I shrunk it down. Like it's more information to it, but I didn't want to like overload you with information. So I just broke it down like in a concise way, right? And also the same thing with learning how to create your success routine. I did the same thing for that because those are two different courses and programs that God had me put together like a couple of years ago, right? Like the how to build your future on paper, how to be the architect of your future, right? Building your life with the blueprint that God has for you. like 2019. The Success and Conquer routine started bare, and that was 2018. But now all this stuff that God has given me is now it's time for me to share. So it's a lot more information in both of them because they was actually in course form. Well, it's in course form, but I just summed it up and just made it. I condensed it. You know what I mean? So it's going to ask you for your email again. Put your email in, and once you put your email in, you will receive that PDF file immediately. Okay. So give me a couple days to work on the replay and everything, and then like I said, give me like a day or two, and um, you go on my well, if you have a link, that's all that matters, right? And then once I create the do the replay and get everything in place, this link would no longer be available. I'm going to take this off my Facebook page, YouTube, everything, right? So if you're gonna listen, please check it out now. Please share it to in and everybody that you know who is an employee, and it's like understanding we were created for more. We was created to do more. Like we our lives supposed to be different from what it is now, but it's not, and it's technically it's our fault. No one else to blame. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to help. You know what I mean? Cause I know what it feels like. God knows I know what it feels like. So it's an honor that he has instructed me to share what he blessed me with years ago with you guys, and in hopes that whatever his plan, whatever his will is for your life, you can get on track doing it and being productive every single day and being a key part of creating that future life that he created you to have. Until we meet again, as always, I love you guys and thank you for your time. I truly hope that this helped you. And it's many more. I'm trying to build a community here so we can come together to get through and grow together. Because at the beginning and ending of reality, your struggles are my struggles. I love you guys. Stay blessed. Peace.